Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Legend of Heroes Trails Cold Steel. Beim letzten Mal haben wir Nosferatu besiegt und sind hier im Garrelia Fortress angekommen. Haben uns auch mal ein bisschen erkundet und wollen nun mit der Story weitermachen. This bulletin is to inform all Thors students that preparations for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat. Let's instruct the Neidhart, but I must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way towards the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way. We boarded the armored cars and set off toward the proving grounds. Armored Car und so. Kein Tank. Nee. The inside of the armored cars was narrow and cramped, and the smell of machine oil hung in the musty air. The car shook and rattled over the uneven ground, tumbling us around like an iron coffin on wheels. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to even peek outside at the scenery, we finally arrived at Garrelia Fortress's military proving grounds. Wow, 18 Main Battle Tanks. Echt? 18 Stück, wow. Aha. Ich weiß, der war toll, der Witz. There's plenty of older model tanks out here there too. It even looked like they have airships here. Oh yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord. Welcome. Oh. So that's Elliots' dad. I don't see the family resemblance. Looked like the handmaid would jump from father to son though. Reporting, Lieutenant General. Very good, Neidhart. It's Dr. Wallenstein, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Quake. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Van Dyke. Ah, and these must be... What a piercing stare. So this is Quake the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's so good to see you again. Huh? It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? That's a sharp-looking sharp-looking uniform you've got too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. It's Dad, come on. You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There's a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and the men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man, but I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe. I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. There do seem to be some differences from the stories. You kidding me? He seemed like a cool guy. What a delightful commanding office you have, Major. Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona. Moving right along. Ich liebe General Quake. Es ist großartig. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Quake, Commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Likewise, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot. Believe me, I feel it in the bones. Now let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by two of our armored divisions. Armored regiments at the formation center, infantry, armored cars, and airship will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our target today, we'll be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they have only been armed with paint bullets. However, all other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition. So you intend to actually destroy the other tank. It would hardly be a live fire exercise if we didn't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armored Division 4 and 5 commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin. Yes, sir. 5th Armored Division, Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division, Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. Boom. Oh. Das war ein großes Boom. Das sind ganz große Booms. Und das, meine Freunde, ist der Grund, warum der Ball nicht den Hand of Day War verloren hat. Panzer gegen Luftschiff ist ein bisschen unfair. Nicht für das Luftschiff, logischerweise. Wow. It's certainly potent. That's the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those tanks are called 18s? Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank, and the Reinford Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points don't. They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those with wings, huh? That's kinda crazy. You try fighting things like these head on, you won't stand a chance. That's as true for our own nation as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking. I don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, if the sound of guns and warfare ever stopped bothering you, I'd be worried. I mean, I guess this is another kind of strength. Thus the military exercise came to an end. The 4th Armored Division, led by Lieutenant General Craig, withdrew to an encampment near the fortress. Meanwhile, we returned to the fortress, where Major Neidhart outlined the results of the training exercise. After that, so you had to wait for us to finish? Don't worry about it, we are the guests here after all. Thanks for your consideration. At the very least, I'd say dinner's a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hash beef day. That's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it? Ooh, just the smells make me hungry. Oh yeah, where'd your instructor go? She's a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her. He went to see the fortress commander and instructor Neidhart. He did ask us to eat without her tonight. Ah, right, well, if she's with Major Neidhart, try to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. It'll be enough if they just had Crack the Rat, but we've got the Major too, and he's kinda scary. Like a division of muscle men. Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied up any longer. Your Irish beef's gonna go cold. See you tomorrow, guys. Wow, it's actually delicious. It's like night and day compared to what we had for lunch. You're telling me? Oh, come on, guys, what's with all the gloomy faces? You think you guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like everything we've learned in our time at the academy been for nothing. Academics, the arts, individual skills in combat, none of those matter in the slightest in real warfare, do they? True. If all you're looking to do, fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactic to use them well and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose. The Achtzehns are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be too. I remember my mother boasting about their capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. Can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all. Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. Was sie halt auch nicht wissen, ist es, was die obere Decke von Fähigkeiten dieser Welt ist. Weil, ja, auch die Stärken sind nicht an der Frontline von einem Krieg, der mit Panzern und Soldaten und allem weiteren ausgetragen wird. Trotzdem ist zum Beispiel so eine Aurelia stark genug, um Panzer alleine zu, zumindest mal einen nach dem anderen alleine zu zerlegen. Viel auf einmal bin ich mir nicht sicher, aber alleine auf jeden Fall. Und plus, was noch dazu gehört, ist natürlich die hintere Seite der Kriege, die backgrounds. What we saw in military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no morality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it. That's true. In a sense, the same could be said of a sword or a gun. And all the way on up to something as huge as Garrelia's railway guns too. I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party. Instructor Sarah? So you spoke with the commander? Sure did. I've got up-to-date info on the trade conference too, as well as all the latest on the terrorists. And so there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front. Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you're scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture where I'll bring you up to speed on that information I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns. I see. Looking forward to that. Sounds like we've got a pretty packed schedule. Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Garrelia Fortress just happens to have that power in a very striking, easy-to-understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of the power the Empire of Erebonia wields at present, a power you might one day be in charge of yourself. Well, Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me from trying the famous hashed beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day. We should probably finish eating. Yeah, so it's gotten a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go and ask for seconds. Oh, Jesus, if you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it? I'd sooner throw it away than give it to you. Mir wird jetzt auf, wie häufig Juices und Milliam jetzt schon interagieren. Obwohl sie sich... Na okay, die Milliam mag Juices schon sehr gerne. Was aber mainly stand jetzt, glaube ich, dran liegt, dass Juices einfach so unfassbar abgefuckt von Milliam ist. Juices ist halt sehr sheltered aufgewachsen und Milliam hat halt ADHS bis zum geht nicht mehr. Okay, that should do it. Alright, that covers today's quota. Whew, I'm looking forward to a nice long bath. Well, you know, every time there's a military exercise coming up, your workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, at least managing inventory has gotten a lot easier thanks to the OrbitalNet. We've got everything hooked up on the network over in Crossbell, right? Wish the Empire would get on that a bit more. Think of the utility. Well, from the sound of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. And considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here. Huh? An orc mail. Looks like it's from HQ. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the OrbitalNet. There's no such thing as off hours, when they can just send you orders around the clock. What's going on? So get this, we're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow. It means we've got to outfit 28 cents with C units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? Might as well start up another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. Do we even have that many C units left? Actually, another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20 if you can believe it. Guess we'll just have to get it done. Crap. Let us take a shower. I'm gonna head down to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything? Die Units müssten die Dinger sein für den Autopiloten. Von daher sehr interessant. Bin mir sehr sicher, dass die E-Mail nicht wirklich vom HQ kam. Aha, was haben wir denn hier? Das... Wird auch bestimmt nichts Wichtiges passieren, wenn man in ein Speichermenü mitten in Dialog geschickt wird. Nee, auf keinen Fall. 1204 sind wir übrigens. Okay, das heißt, wir sind 5 Jahre. Vor Daybreak 2. Okay. Garrelia Fortress Crossbell Stateside. Oh mein Gott, da ist Belgard Gate. War doch Belgard, oder? Ja, doch müsste Belgard. Nee, Belgard. Wird viel mehr Sinn machen, dass das... Lange her, dass ich hier mittlerweile auch die Crossbell-Spiele gespielt habe. At last, after what seemed like enough adventure to fill a week, we reached the final day of our field study. Over in Crossbell State, they were busy preparing for today's keynote session at the trade conference. We spent the morning running through the Imperial Army's physical fitness program alongside some of the soldiers. And after completing it, no easy task I might add, we sat down to a lukewarm redux of yesterday's lunch. That afternoon, during our special military science lecture, we were presented with a confidential report on the terrorists. The Imperial Liberation Front is in Crossbell. That's right, or at least that's what the Intelligence Division believes. It looks like a known terrorist organization from the Cavalry Republic has turned up in Crossbell too. situation over there is pretty touch and go right now. Oh no. What are the authorities doing? Everything they can, naturally. However, operations are being handled solely by the intelligence division. They refuse to tell the Imperial Army anything, just that they have a trusted ally taking care of things. But who does the intelligence division trust? You've gotta know something about this, right, short stack? Well, I do, but I can't really tell you anything. Ich wünsche mir das Layout ein bisschen außer auf das 2 Millionen unten sitzen. I guess it's not a breach of confidentiality to tell you they're a real strong bunch, though. But still pretty vague. I've got a few ideas. Anyway, there's not much point in us worrying about that right now. Ja, dafür kann man die Cosplay-Spiele spielen. The big issue is that our terrorists of Jahres, the Imperial Liberation Front, are a bigger crew than we thought. Big enough to be in possession of the state-of-the-art military airship at least. Seriously? An airship? Can we assume Reinforth will manufacture it then? Correct. Just how something that large found its way into the hands of insurgents is currently unknown. But it seems to be a high-speed model, different from the heavily armored type favored by the Imperial Army. I'd bet it's from the RF-26 series. There are a number of different models within that series though. But if they have an airship, it means they're going to be a whole lot more difficult to catch, doesn't it? That's exactly what it means. It's basically impossible to keep tabs on them as it is. With an airship in their possession, there's no telling when or where they'll pop up next. That's quite worrying, especially since Prince Oliver is attending the conference. And Thors and Crossbow right now too. Yeah, damn, you've got me worrying. Oh, take it easy. I don't think you have anything to worry about with Grams and Lecter over there. Well, that aside, the terrorist attention is currently focused on Crossbow. Does that mean the Empire is effectively safe right now? You raise a good point, Laura. They did target Princess Alphen during the summer festival last month. It's possible it's just a feint. Maybe they just want us to believe they're targeting the Chancellor. The railway and military police thought so too, which is why they've increased the security level here at home. The Emperor and everyone else connected to the Imperial family should be safe. They've also beefed up security anywhere that seemed short-handed. As well prepared as ever, I see. At any rate, you finally uncovered some information on the terrorist identities, correct? That's right, so once again we have the Intelligence Division to thank for that. If you turn your attention to the screen, please. I know that face. Gee. That's the man who kidnapped Princess Alphen and Elise in Heimdall. Not to mention he tried to start a war with Calvert in the North Highlands. So who is he? His full name is Michael Gideon. He used to be an assistant professor at the Imperial Academy in Heimdall. That man? A teacher? So an academic. Right, his focus was political philosophy. 3 years ago, he was dismissed from his position due to his intense criticism of Chancellor Osborne's hardline policies. Oh. So getting laid off set him on the road to terrorism? Well, it sounds like the actual reason he was let go was because he was handing out tracts and flyers in public. You find these kinds of idealists at the heart of most terrorist groups, though. In seeing a group with their core ideology, they twist it to be even more militant and radical. You can't even reason with them either. Yeah, they just don't know when to give up. Sounds like some other groups I know. So, do we know anything about the others? We crossed paths with what I can only assume were 3 other key members last month in Heimdall. Yes, S, V, and C. Seems like they haven't been able to dig up much on those 3 yet. The strongest lead right now is that V may have belonged to a Jaeger Corps. Interesting. He was toting around this machine gun that looked like it should have been mounted on a vehicle. Did he seem at all familiar to you, Fee? Not really. They are working on narrowing down the identity of S2, but it's too early to make any informed statements. The real unknown is their leader, C. The one in the visored helmet. I heard he was able to go toe-to-toe with Wien, Laura and Fee simultaneously. I almost find that hard to believe. I don't. I imagine there are plenty of people in the Empire who could do so. Halt schon diese Szenen ja sind sehr interessant, wenn man weiß, wer sie ist. It goes without saying that the Radiant Blade Master could fend three of us off without much of a problem. But I bet good Mirror and Dr. Sarah and Major Neidhart could do it too. I can't say for certain. Look at Mr. Modesty over there. The Major here is widely held to be one of the strongest up-and-coming officers in the entire army. I've heard people mention him right alongside Major Vander. Laying it on a little thick today, aren't we? Going by the family name, it seems safe to assume he's a practitioner of the Vander style of swordsmanship. No doubt the relative of Lieutenant General Vander from Zendergate. While I would question whether I can stand on equal footing with him, Major Vander is unquestionably strong. He was my classmate during my military academy years and quite close to Prince Oliver as well. In fact, she's in Crossbow right now, serving as the prince's bodyguard. Damit ist klar, welchen Bänder sie meinen. Müller. Oder wie er eigentlich vernünftig ausgesprochen werden sollte mit der Schreibweise ist Müller. Wow. Well, that's reassuring to know. But getting back to the point, it's not just C. We still know very little about the group as a whole. Even the source of funding is a mystery, so even if they're no-show in Crossbell, I doubt we've heard the last of them. And call it coincidence or fate, but you've got the kibosh on their scheme twice now. It's entirely possible they've come to hold a personal grudge against you, so be careful. Right. Yeah, we'll be sure to keep that in mind. Eventually, the afternoon series of special lectures came to an end. It was finally time to get a peek at Garrelia Fortress's infamous railway guns. You'll now be shown to the area where the railway guns are housed. All of what you're about to see is highly classified. I presume you're aware of the protocol surrounding confidential intel. Yes, Instructor. I'm getting kinda nervous. Me too. Guys, it's just the railway guns. I've seen them before, they're nothing to get all excited over. Orion, this part of the field study isn't mandatory for you? If you'd like to stay here and wait for us, that'd be more than okay. Jeez, I was just kidding. I don't want to be the only one left behind. Honestly. Excuse me a moment. This is Neidhart speaking? Yes, hello, Commander Walter. Wait, Mueller wants to speak to me? Of course, put him through. What could you possibly be calling about at a time like this? What? What's happening? Is he taking a call from someone outside the fortress on his archive? Sure looks that way. Understood. We'll be on alert here as well. Yes, right. Take care out there. Did something happen in Crossbell? I'm afraid so. A short while ago, the skyscraper where the conference is taking place came under attack by the Imperial Liberation Front. The attack was carried out via airship. Fortunately, they were able to repel the terrorists and Prince Oliver, Chancellor Osborne and the others are unharmed. However, it's too early to tell if the danger is truly past. They really did attack the conference. How foolish. But that's not all, is it? Something else strange happened. What was it? The terrorists were somehow able to gain access to the orbital and manipulate the shuttles that partition the building. Furthermore, they had with them a force of mechanical monsters. I don't like the sound of that. Want something like that in Legram, right? Yeah, we ran into one on the highway there, and we broke into the orbital. Major, how much of Garrelia Fortress is connected to the network? At present, it's only used for inventory and equipment management by the maintenance staff. What was that? A tremor. Came from right below us. Below the hangar. What the hell? The 18th. What happened here? They just started moving. No one inside, they just started moving on their own. Did the C unit start malfunctioning? No, they couldn't have. What's the C unit? It's an automatic control unit we put on vehicles that are going to serve as targets in military exercises. How did these units end up attached to our most advanced tanks? This is really bad. I'm going to assess the situation. I need you here to help fight the fires and assist the injured maintenance staff. Yes, sir. Please be careful up there. Well, this is crazy. Hold on a minute. Are automatic control systems really capable of that level of advanced maneuvering? No, they're definitely not. Our current technology isn't capable of anything nearly this advanced. But if you were to apply the tech used in the archaisms, it suddenly becomes a whole lot more possible. Instructor, are you saying that society might be involved in this? I'd say it's looking more likely by the minute. What are they? Isn't the proving ground we visited yesterday out that way? Just what are they planning? What in Elliots' name is going on here? Why are unmanned tanks roving around blasting the hell out of this base on their own? Well, it seems that last night headquarters sent an order to be engineered to fit both tanks with C units. Preposterous, I gave no such order. But never mind that. Right now we need to focus on extinguishing the fires and quelling the confusion. Let's send a request for assistance to the 4th Armored Division. What should we do? Can't just being able to catch up to them without a horse at the very least. But what's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish here? Whatever it is, they definitely have some kind of game plan. We can't just stand by and do nothing. Leave this to us. Isn't that Dad? Reiten auf ihren scheiß Panzer, meine. Ja. Imperial Army 4th Armored Division. Mit einem Olaf, der auf dem Panzer reitet. General, HQ is apprised me of the situation. Leave these rogue tanks to us. We can't rule out the possibility that they're a diversion. I want you all to stay here. Understood, sir. Thank you, General. Be careful, Dad. You too, Elliot. 4th Armored Division advance. Take out those out of control tanks by any means necessary. Our opponents are unmanned. There's no need to hold back. Yes, General. Und da reitet auf seinen Tank hinfort. Wow, your dad's really something else, Elliot. I admit he is pretty cool when he takes charge like that. Well, it seems we no longer need to worry about those tanks at least. But what are they after? That's the question of the hour, isn't it? Can't let our guard down just yet. Might I suggest we fall back to the fortress, Major? A prudent move, after we assess the level of damage inside. Hey, Unvers? What in the... The Imperial Liberation Front. Whoa, there's 2 of them. No way we could have known they had another There's no way we could have known they had another 4th lying in wait. Ah, the hangar.
Do they seriously think they could breach an impregnable fortress?
They're just terrorists! Wipe them out! Right back at you!
Ultimate Gatling gun.
Alright! Let's get this party started then! We're headed straight for the left railway gun. If anyone gets in our way, fill them full of holes!
Yeah! What's the Imperial Liberation Front doing here?
I thought they were in Crossbow.
Well, that is the main attraction. They sure didn't put up much of a fight, did they? Our mission is to support Comrade G over in Crosspell. Our target is the right railway gun. Let's show him some beautiful fireworks, shall we?
Yes, ma'am!
Going for both the left and right wings. Shit. Is the railway gun they're after? No. We're gonna fire them at the trade conference where the Chancellor is. The shot from one of the railway guns hit the building and it blew the place to smithereens. So that's what they're after. The situation has escalated far beyond the scope of your field study. I want you all to stand by here. No way. Can't just stand idle while these insurgents run amok. If you won't take us with you, then we'll take action ourselves. Look, time's the one luxury we don't have. I think it's best to have them help us. Listen up, we're going back into the fortress. Groups A and B, you with me. Let's do this. Septian Calendar 1204. 838. Eastern edge of the Erebonian Empire. Garrelia Fortress, military training ground. Herzlich willkommen zurück im Prolog.
It's no use! We can't even scratch them! What's happening? Who's in control of those things? Get in touch with the 4th Armored Division! We need backup from Lieutenant General Craig!
Weiter auf seinen Tank, aber einen Panzer rein.
This is awful. What happened here?
How terrible.
I can smell smoke. Are they using gunpowder?
They've completely blindsided us. It appears that everything else they've done today was to serve as a decoy, even making the tanks go haywire.
Right. It looks like their real target was the railway guns all along. Which means they must be serious about targeting that trade conference in Crossbell City.
They wouldn't! How low can they possibly sink?
So, they're intent on taking the Chancellor's head after all.
Resorting to such wanton violence? This is absolutely outrageous.
This does look kinda bad.
Understatement of the year.
Please, let us help. We don't know if reinforcements are on the way, and it doesn't look like we have much time left. We have to stop them before they can activate the railway guns.
Green's right.
I don't know how much we can really do, but considering the alternative, we have to try.
Right.
about to let those terrorists have their way.
Looks like any attempt to convince you otherwise would fall on deaf ears. All right. Reen, you and the rest of Group A are with me. Group B, you'll be under the command of Major Neidhart.
One group will secure the gun in the right wing. The other group will secure the left. This is an actual combat situation, with real lives at stake. I expect the best from each of you.
Yes, sir! All right, Class 7. Our objective is to stop the activation of the railway guns. We've learned a lot at the Academy. It's time to put that knowledge to the test.
Understood!
Instructor Sarah joined the party. While she's assigned to the active battle party, the number of support members increases too. You can now use the Burst Lingard Attack. Genau, da können wir können jetzt 5 Breakpunkte sammeln und dann Viereck nutzen. Und damit seht ihr schon, wir sind zurück im Prolog, aber es ist ein bisschen anders. Weil wir haben mal Lord tatsächlich raus. Geist ist mir dann doch deutlich lieber und ich will schon auch selber drin haben. Weil Milliam und Crow sind da, wenn ich an den Prolog erinnere, die können jetzt nochmal zurückschauen. Weder Milliam noch Crow waren im Prolog da. Und auch das Layout dieses Dungeons hat sich gut geändert. Ja. Oh, hier ist ein Ding zum Heilen. Ich würde sagen, es macht aber zeitlich mehr Sinn, wenn wir uns dann im nächsten Part um den Dungeon kümmern. Wenn euch die Party gefallen hat, was im Prinzip einfach nur, ich lese euch die Story vor. Aber hey, wenn es trotzdem gefallen hat, lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben da, abonniert den Kanal und dann was und beim nächsten Mal schauen wir dann, dass wir die Imperial Liberation Front davon abhalten, Tower zu töten. Bis dahin. Ciao, ciao.